24 ways to use turmeric for boils. Boils or skin abscess are an infection caused by the release of toxins in the skin. They appear as round, pus-filled, red, hard and painful lumps on skin. It can be caused due to staphylococcal bacteria or MRSA, which enter into the body through cuts, sores or bug bites and comes through hair follicles or sweat glands. People with a weak immune system, poor hygiene, diabetes, and blood disorders are more prone to this problem. Antibiotics can cause side effects, so the best course of action is to use a home remedy. Turmeric is one among those natural remedies which is best, time-tested, easily available and extremely effective in treating this problem. How does turmeric help to treat boils? It has natural anti-inflammatory and blood-purifying properties that cures pain and itching. It has an antibacterial property that fights against bacteria. It acts as an antioxidant agent that removes free radicals in the skin, which in turn removes toxins from the body. Regular use of this herb will boost the immune system, which strengthens to fight against the bacteria. Boils can be caused due to blood thinning, heart disease and artery problems. The usage of turmeric will clear these problems. Curcumin is a natural ingredient present in turmeric which cures skin abscess internally by fighting bacteria. It is germicidal and detoxifying that addresses the root cause of boils and prevents its recurrence, if used regularly in small quantities. How to apply turmeric on boils? For best results, try these methods to treat boils explained below. 1. Turmeric root. This process makes boils mature enough to burst, clears the pus and it then dries the boils to prevent the infection. It is used to treat boils on all over the skin including cysts. Soak a turmeric root in hot water for 15 to 20 minutes to soften it. Rub it on a coarse stone by adding a little water. Apply on affected skin. Let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes and rinse off with water. Or make a paste by mixing turmeric powder with water, or milk, and apply on the boils. Cover with gauze for a few minutes, or overnight, and wash it off with warm water when dry. Or simply roast, burn the dry turmeric and dissolve at sachet in 1 cup of water and apply on the affected skin. Apply twice daily for a week and then continue twice weekly. 2. Turmeric with milk. This process helps to treat boils all over the body, MRSA infection and cysts. Add 1 teaspoon of turmeric to a glass of milk. Boil for a few minutes and drink 2 to 3 times a day for a week. Drink preferably with a meal or on empty stomach. You can use 1 teaspoon of grated fresh turmeric and 1/2 glass of warm water. Follow the above process. 3. Turmeric with ginger. Both have anti-inflammatory properties that help to cure boils effectively. Process 1. Cut a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger and turmeric root into slices and blend. Apply this paste over boils and leave on for a few minutes or until dry. Rinse off with water and pat dry. Apply regularly for once or twice a day. Process 2. Blend equal quantities of turmeric powder and ginger powder with water to make paste. Apply on the boils. Secure it with a clean cloth or bandage. Wipe gently after a few hours and wash off with warm water. Repeat regularly. 4. Turmeric compress. Mix 2 crushed garlic cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of activated charcoal and 1 teaspoon of turmeric in 1 cup of water. Heat for a few minutes and soak gauze pads in it. Apply over the boils and secure with duct tape. Let it sit for a few hours and remove the pads. Apply regularly. 5. Turmeric with curd. Mix turmeric powder, curd and a little of water together. Stir well to make a thin paste. Apply over the boils and surrounding area. This is most effective if applied before a bath, shower. Allow to dry completely. Wash off with mild soap and lukewarm water and pat dry. Repeat daily. 6. Turmeric with basil leaves. This process heals boils on skin, especially on the buttocks. Blend a handful of fresh basil leaves by adding a little water. Extract its juice and add turmeric powder and stir. Apply this paste over boils and let it sit for few minutes. Repeat 3 to 4 times daily to relieve boils along with pain and irritation. 7. Turmeric with milk cream and vinegar. Turmeric contains an antibacterial property that kills bacteria. Milk cream soothes the skin irritation and vinegar balances the pH levels of the body. Mix 1 teaspoon each of turmeric powder, milk cream and vinegar. Spread this paste over the boils and wait for few minutes to dry. Wash with water and repeat 3 to 4 times a day for a few days. Use apple cider vinegar instead of normal vinegar. 8. Turmeric with tea tree oil. This process helps to treat the pain, itching and other discomforts caused by boils. Process 1. Mix a few drops of tea tree oil to 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Spread this thick paste over the infected areas. Cover with a bandage and leave for a few hours or overnight. When the boil opens, apply a paste of neosporin and turmeric. Leave for a few hours to get quick relief. Process 2. Mix 1 teaspoon each of turmeric powder and mica powder and few drops of tea tree oil. Leave for a few minutes and wash off with lukewarm water. Repeat 3 times a day. Process 3. Mix 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a few drops of tea tree oil and a tablespoon of Epsom salt. Apply over abscess at regular intervals throughout the day. Process 4. Mix 1 teaspoon each of turmeric powder, Epsom salt and distilled water. Spread over a piece of cheesecloth or thin cotton. Apply directly before going to bed, cover the cloth with plastic wrap. Leave overnight then wash off. Repeat regularly to make the abscess come to head and drain out quickly. 9. Turmeric with sesame oil and water. Heat 2 tablespoons of sesame oil in 5 tablespoons of water for few minutes. Turn off the heat and mix a bit of black pepper powder to 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder and drink. The boil will increase its size at first and then rupture by itself. Or use coconut oil instead of sesame oil and milk or cream instead of water. Repeat the same process regularly. 10. Turmeric with oregano oil, colloidal silver and vitamin D3. Mix 2 teaspoons each of turmeric powder and coconut oil, 10 drops each of tea tree oil, colloidal silver and oregano oil, 1 capsule, opened, each of acidophilus, 2000 of vitamin D3. Apply on the infected skin and leave to dry. Wash with lukewarm water followed by cold water. Dry the skin and reapply this mix regularly. 11. Turmeric paste with coconut oil and pepper. Process 1. Mix 3 tablespoons of warm coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon of coarse sea salt, 1/2 lemon juice, fresh, and lots of coarse pepper. Apply over the infected skin and leave for up to a few hours. Wash off with lukewarm water and dry the skin. Follow this process regularly to cure problem. Process 2. You can also add 1 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper powder, 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, a half mug each of milk and warm water. Stir well and drink this mix for once a day. 12. Turmeric with comfrey. Blend turmeric, fresh comfrey and a little olive oil. Apply on affected skin and cover with a large band-aid or gauze. Allow to sit for a few minutes, hours. Rinse with lukewarm water and reapply regularly. 13. Turmeric with almond oil and honey. Mix 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1/2 teaspoon of almond oil and a few drops of honey until it reaches the consistency of peanut butter. Dilute in water and consume. Consuming for 3 to 5 days. Or add equal quantities of honey and turmeric to make a paste. Spread directly on boils and wash off with water after 20 to 30 minutes. 14. Turmeric tea. Process 1. Boil 4 cups of water in saucepan and add 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Stir it well and simmer for about 10 minutes. Reduce the heat and add 1 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of almond oil. Turn off the heat and drink it by adding a natural sweetener, if need. Process 2. Mix 2 tablespoons of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, Juice of 1/2 lemon and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil in 8 ounces of warm water. Stir all ingredients and let it steep for a few minutes before drinking this tea. Consume this turmeric tea regularly to cure boils from inside out. 15. Turmeric poultice with honey. This process is effective to treat developed boils which are getting ready to burst. Mix 1/2 teaspoon each of turmeric powder, honey and little of water to make thick paste. Warm slightly to remove the moisture. Spread on soft gauze and apply on the boils. Secure with a bandage and let it rest overnight. The boil will burst by morning and start to drain. Clean the area carefully and repeat for a few nights. Or mix a pinch of turmeric powder in 1 teaspoon of honey and eat once a day to get rid of boils, especially from armpit boils. 16. Turmeric with castor oil. Both turmeric and castor oil have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties that eradicate the infection-causing abscess. Mix a few drops of castor oil in 1 teaspoon of turmeric to make thick paste. Apply on infected skin and let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes to dry. Wash off with lukewarm water. Follow the same process once daily for a few days. This process is effective in treating boils in nose. Apply the paste using a cotton swab. 17. Turmeric with aloe vera. Aloe vera helps to fight off the infection and promotes quick healing. It is very effective in treating boils, carbuncles and MRSA infection. Cut a leaf of aloe vera and extract its gel. Add enough of turmeric powder and stir well, then apply over abscess. Cover with a soft cloth or bandage. Let it sit overnight and wash off the next morning with cold water. Continue this process at least a week. 18. Turmeric with oatmeal and baking soda. Mix 2 tablespoons of instant oatmeal, 1 tablespoon of turmeric, and 1 teaspoon each of salt and baking soda. Add warm water to make a paste. Spread on the infected skin, and leave for 10-15 minutes before washing off with warm water. Follow the same process regularly. 19. Turmeric poultice with baking soda and coconut oil. Mix 2 teaspoons each of turmeric powder, baking soda and coconut oil and 15 drops of tea tree oil. Take a warm shallow bath and dry the skin with a towel. Apply this paste as poultice directly on the abscess and spread over entire area. Cover with gauze and let it sit overnight. Discard the gauze the next morning and wash off with lukewarm water. Repeat this application regularly. 20. Turmeric with margasa leaves. Margasa or Indian lilac has antibacterial and antiseptic properties that fight off the bacteria causing skin abscess. Grind a handful of Indian lilac leaves and add 1/2 tablespoon of turmeric powder. Stir well and apply this paste on infected skin. Leave on for 30 to 45 minutes and wash off with cold water. Follow the same process regularly. 21. Turmeric with olive oil and onion. This process is especially used to treat vaginal boils or boils on groin areas. Mix small amounts of turmeric powder, olive oil, wheat flour and crushed onions. Apply this paste on vaginal boils and let it sit for a few minutes before washing off with water. Repeat the same process regularly. 22. Turmeric with garlic cloves. Both have an antibacterial and anti-inflammatory property that prevents boils along with pain and inflammation. Mix 1 teaspoon each of crushed garlic cloves and turmeric powder. Apply this paste on boil-infected skin and leave for 10 to 20 minutes. Wash it off with water and pat the skin dry. Follow this process 2 to 3 times a day. 23. Turmeric paste. Add 1/2 cup of turmeric powder to 1 cup of water in a small saucepan. Place it on the heat and stir, bring to a boil and reduce the heat. Let the mixture simmer until it thickens. Turn off the heat and let it cool for a few minutes. Store the paste in an airtight container and put it in the refrigerator. Apply of the affected skin and leave for 30 to 45 minutes. Wash off with water and pat dry. This process has to be followed regularly. 24. Turmeric salve. Mix 1 tablespoon of honey with 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Stir it well and add 1/2 teaspoon of ginger powder and 1/3 teaspoon of sea salt. Apply this over the infected skin as salve. Wrap the applied area with a plastic wrap followed by a bandage or cloth. Let it sit for 2 days to dry. Wash off with lukewarm water and pat the skin dry. Follow regularly until you get relief. You can mix turmeric, beeswax and olive oil and apply this salve on the boils. Tips and precautions: include turmeric in your daily diet like in stir-fries, curries, broths, rice, soups, etc. Do not exceed 1 to 2 teaspoons, 3 times a day. Turmeric can stain the skin and your clothes. So, wear any old clothes while applying on boils. Regular intake of high doses of turmeric can lead to dehydration and constipation. So, drink plenty of water. Add a little curd to turmeric to prevent dry skin. If you don't like the taste of turmeric, you can take turmeric capsules, 400 to 600 milligrams once a day. Never ever squeeze or pop a boil because it spreads the infection and causes blood poisoning and cellulitis. Turmeric can thin the blood, so avoid consuming turmeric if you're taking blood-thinning medicines. Also, people suffering with congestive heart failure, gallstones, acute bilious colic or toxic liver disorders, obstructive jaundice and those taking anticoagulant medication. Mild stomach upsets, nausea, indigestion, dizziness, etc. are reported as minimal side effects of taking turmeric in the long run. To increase turmeric absorption, combine turmeric with good fats, like coconut oil, olive oil, flaxseed oil, almond oil or sesame oil, and ground black pepper. Before and after applying any turmeric method, be sure to wash them with lukewarm water and mild antibacterial soap. You can also use turmeric oil before going to bed and after taking bath. Apart from following the turmeric methods, stay hydrated, consume a nutritious diet, and exercise regularly. Make sure to consult your doctor for immediate diagnosis and treatment if you didn't find any relief from boils after using these turmeric methods for 7 to 10 days.